All right, everybody, welcome back. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment below. We love hearing from you. All right, so today we're diving into the 2024 election. But with a twist.
Ooh, a twist.
Yeah, a twist that'll make you think twice about the power of daytime TV.
Daytime TV. Okay.
We're analyzing a recent article from the Daily Beast about a heated exchange on The View.
The View.
Yes, The View, where Anna Navarro and Christie go head-to-head.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, over Kamala Harris's campaign strategy.
It's interesting how a show like The View can become this unexpected battleground for dissecting political tactics.
Yeah.
It's not just about hot topics and celebrity gossip anymore.
Right, it's like political strategy meets daytime drama.
Daytime political drama. I love it.
So Christie,
Yeah.
former governor, and now a political commentator,
Yeah.
basically argues that Harris needs to stop preaching to the choir.
Okay, the choir.
Those who already dislike Trump. He says she needs to make a rock-solid case to undecided voters,
Okay.
explaining exactly why she'd be a better president than Biden.
All right. Makes sense.
And he doesn't hold back.
Oh.
Christie even claims that a Trump aide told him Harris's appearance on The View actually killed her candidacy.
Killed her candidacy.
That's what he said.
Wow. Now I know what you're thinking at home. Can a single talk show appearance really have that much impact?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But Christie seems convinced. He thinks Harris missed a golden opportunity to really shine and connect with voters who are still on the fence. What's your take?
Well, it's true that media appearances can make or break a candidate, especially in a tight race. But what's even more intriguing here is Christie's position. He's a former Trump ally, now criticizing him, but also giving tactical advice to his opponent. Is he being genuine strategic, or maybe a bit of both?
It's like a political thriller unfolding right before our eyes.
It really is.
And the plot thickens when Anna Navarro jumps in. She accuses Christie of giving Trump a free pass for his, shall we say, less than presidential behavior, while coming down hard on Harris.
Ooh, things are heating up.
Yeah, it gets pretty intense.
You've got to admire Navarro for pushing back there. It highlights an important point. Are we consciously or unconsciously holding female candidates to a different standard? Is Christie's critique really about strategy, or does it reflect a deeper bias that often surfaces in political discourse?
That's a great question. One we'll definitely be exploring further in this deep dive. Stay tuned. Now getting back to Christie's advice for Harris. He specifically says she should have given more forceful answers on issues like the border wall, even if it meant disagreeing with Biden.
The border wall, that's a hot-button issue for
It
sure.
really is.
So he's saying she should have just come out and disagreed with Biden?
Yes, even if it meant potentially alienating some voters.
That's a bold strategy, isn't it? It's about projecting an image of strength and decisiveness. Qualities often associated with strong leadership, especially for women in politics. But it's a risky move. Could it alienate Biden's base? Would it actually resonate with those undecided voters Christie's so focused on?
Those are some seriously tough questions, and it seems like there's no easy answer. We'll be diving into those complexities and trying to unpack the potential consequences of Christie's advice in the next part of this deep dive.
We've got a lot more to explore, so don't go anywhere.
And before we move on, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this juicy political drama. Now let's get back to the deep dive.
So we were talking about this idea of Harris needing to project strength and decisiveness, even if it means disagreeing with Biden. It's a classic political dilemma. How much do you toe the party line? And how much do you try to carve out your own distinct identity?
Yeah, and to complicate things further, we're in this supercharged political climate where every little word gets dissected and analyzed.
Yeah.
Like Christie even zeroed in on a specific quote from Harris about the border wall, saying she fumbled the response.
The border wall. Ah, yes. Talk about a lightning rod issue. It's fascinating how a physical structure has become such a potent symbol in the immigration debate. For some, it represents security and control. For others, it's a symbol of division and exclusion.
And you can bet both sides are watching Harris's every move on this issue. Christie argues she should have used that moment on The View to stake out a clear, even if controversial position. His thinking is, take a stand and show those undecided voters you're not afraid to make tough calls.
It's definitely a high-risk, high-reward strategy. And let's face it, immigration is an incredibly complex issue, intertwined with economics, humanitarian concerns, national security. There are no easy answers, and any position Harris takes is bound to alienate some voters.
So what's the takeaway here for you? Is Christie's advice sound, or is he setting Harris up for a fall?
That's a million-dollar question, isn't it?
Ugh.
Here's what I find most interesting. Christie's advice isn't just about policy positions, it's about optics, about crafting a narrative that resonates with voters on an emotional level.
You're right. It's almost like he's saying, look, I get why people dislike Trump, but you need to give them a reason to be excited about you, a reason to believe in your leadership.
Exactly. It's not enough to be the not Trump candidate. You have to offer a compelling alternative, a vision for the future that inspires hope and confidence. And that can be incredibly challenging in today's political climate, where negativity and cynicism often dominate the discourse.
It makes you wonder, is it even possible to run a positive campaign anymore? Or do you have to play dirty to win?
That's a question that's been debated for as long as there have been elections. And I don't have a simple answer for you, but I do think authenticity plays a crucial role. Voters can usually sense when a candidate is being genuine versus when they're just trying to say what they think people want to hear.
That's so true. You can't fake sincerity. It has to come from a genuine place. And maybe that's what Christie's trying to get at, even if his delivery is a little rough around the edges.
Perhaps. It's like he's saying, Harris, you have a powerful story to tell, but are you telling it in a way that connects with voters on a gut level?
So we've got this fascinating mix of political strategy, media dynamics, and the age-old question of authenticity.
Yeah.
And it's all playing out on The View, of all places.
It just goes to show politics can pop up in the most unexpected places. And even a seemingly lighthearted talk show can become a crucible for some serious political debate.
And it's a reminder that we as viewers and voters need to be savvy consumers of information. Don't just take everything you hear at face value. Think critically, question your assumptions, and seek out diverse perspectives.
Absolutely. We live in an era of information overload, and it's easy to get swept up in the 24/7 news cycle. But it's crucial to step back, reflect, and form our own informed opinions.
Well said. Now, before we move on to the final part of this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We're always eager to hear from you. All right, so we've unpacked Christie's argument that Harris needs to project strength and offer a clear vision to win over undecided voters. But there's one piece of his advice that really stuck with me. Remember that quote? He said, I'm not here to be a cheerleader for her. I'm here to say what she needs to do to close the deal.
Yeah, I remember that. It almost sounds like a coach giving tough love to a player.
Right.
And it gets to the heart of what's so intriguing about this whole exchange. Is Christie genuinely trying to be helpful? Or is there a hint of condescension in his tone? I mean, imagine a man saying that to a male candidate. Would it be perceived the same way?
That's a really good point. It makes you wonder if there's an element of unconscious bias creeping in. Would we be so quick to label a male candidate as lacking strength or decisiveness if they were trying to balance party loyalty with their own personal convictions?
It's a question worth pondering, and it speaks to the larger issue of how we perceive and judge female leaders. Are we holding them to a different standard, expecting them to be both tough and likable, assertive yet collaborative?
Yeah, it's a tightrope walk for sure. And as we head into the final days of this election, it'll be interesting to see how Harris navigates these challenges. Will she embrace Christie's advice and take a more confrontational approach? Or will she stick to her current strategy and hope it's enough to win over those undecided voters?
Only time will tell. But this deep dive has certainly given us a lot to think about. It's highlighted the complexities of political strategy, the power of media moments, and the persistent challenges faced by women in leadership roles.
It's also a reminder that even a seemingly lighthearted talk show can spark some seriously thought-provoking discussions. And who knows, maybe this whole debate on The View will actually push Harris to refine her approach and connect with voters in a new and more powerful way.
Stranger things happen in politics, but one thing's for sure, this election is far from over, and we'll all be watching closely to see how it unfolds.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into this fascinating political clash. We hope you found it as insightful and thought-provoking as we did.
And remember, this is just one perspective on a multifaceted issue. We encourage you to seek out diverse viewpoints, engage in critical thinking, and draw your own conclusions.
Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts on this deep dive. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged,
And stay informed on the latest.